Everybody, thanks for tuning in and watching first off. But we've done a lot of these podcasts, and I get to meet a lot of people, and I think we love doing it. We meet a lot of interesting people, and a lot of the times, it's renewed our faith in life that there's good people out there.
Yes.
And our guests today are the perfect picture of what I just described, because what y'all do in the community and what we've talked about and everything is really admirable for one.
Thank you.
I mean, you're doing huge stuff in the community, and I can't wait to see y'all when this is done. So our guest today, we got Gary and Maryam Eady. Thank you.
Hello.
And again, I'm going to let you all talk about it more, but just love what you do in the community. Well, what you're doing, you're about to do.
Yes.
So love that. I know Jen and I have talked about it many times. So thank you. What you're all about to learn about here. So
Thank you.
anyways, before we get into that, so for those watching and listening, Miss Maryam, we'll start with you.
Yes.
Tell us about you. Where you come from? Are you Murfreesboro native or anything? Or?
No,
No?
I'm
Okay.
actually Persian.
Okay, very cool. Awesome. Okay.
So I was born in Iran, migrated to the United States in the 80s, and settled in Chattanooga,
Okay.
Tennessee. Was raised in Chattanooga and came to MTSU for a college education and met this guy.
Ooh, there we go. All right.
Life changed. Life changed.
Life change moment right
Yes,
there. Bam.
right there. Boom.
Yeah, and I mean, just as Murfreesboro is, people fall in love. I fell in love with Murfreesboro.
Right.
My dad wanted me to come back home, and I found every excuse to get right back
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
So that's what brought me to
Yeah.
Murfreesboro.
That's awesome. It's fun. I moved all around the country when I was younger, and then my dad had a job, moved us around a lot. And I remember we moved here from New York many, many, many years ago. But it was, we're moving to Nashville? Okay, country music capital of the world. Then we moved here. 2 weeks I was hooked. Never left, never going anywhere.
Yeah.
Met this wonderful woman behind the camera here. Just this is home. It's amazing how fast it grows on you.
Yes,
Yes.
it does.
I know, right?
We like to say Murfreesboro's sticky.
It is. That's why everybody wants to be here. Huh?
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
awesome. Well, how about you, Gary?
So I am from Lynchburg, Tennessee,
Okay,
Moore
nice.
County, by way of Lincoln County, Fayetteville. I lived there for the first 9 years of my life. My mom passed when I was 9, so I moved to Lynchburg to live with my dad at that time. Spent years there. Majority of everyone in my family worked for Jack Daniels.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Let's say
and-
Lynchburg. Yeah,
Lynch,
yeah, it kind of comes with the territory.
It
Yes.
does.
Okay.
It does. And so, however, I was one that had an opportunity to play basketball at the secondary level. And so, normally, most people that graduate from Moore County High School, it's either a small slither of those people go to college, but the majority go to work for Jack Daniel.
Okay.
And of course, I had a job waiting for me out of high school to go to work at Jack Daniel, but I chose to go to college instead.
There you go.
And fortunate enough, that's where I met this
Yeah,
young lady.
MTSU?
Yep, MTSU.
How'd y'all meet? Was it?
We were both mass comm majors.
Oh, okay.
So he was always cheating off of me in class.
So what's answer two? Okay, I got it.
Right?
Yeah.
So keep
I'll
in-
take you on a date if you give me the answer.
So keep in mind, being a mass comm major, of course, we actually worked on a television show together. So
Yes.
the
No way.
local Channel 8, I don't know what it's called now. I don't know if it's
It was the MTSU channel.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
very cool.
And so she and I actually have worked on this. It was like a talk show format.
Yeah.
It was called Night Beat. It's kind of like Arsenio Hall, if you will.
Oh, I used to love that back in the day. My gosh, yeah.
And interesting enough, our first show, so we were directors and producers of the show.
Gotcha.
And we had a host that backed out on us the first episode. And so yours truly had to step up.
Oh, there you go.
And so interesting, first time being in front of a camera, because I'm more behind the scenes, and so we took off. And this is where I met her, and she and I had these classes together, and just like, hey, come join this Night Beat show, and that's how it all started.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, well, fast forward to today. Y'all have a kid.
Yes.
We do. We've got an older son, Jalen, who is 27
Seven.
now, and then Garrison, who's our youngest, and he is 17, a senior at Blackman High School, starting point guard for the team.
There you go. Nice. Very cool. Very cool.
Yes. So, which is a great segue into how we arrived at this
You beat
point.
me to it. That's awesome. Yeah, just flowed right into that.
Yes,
That was great.
so
Yeah.
interesting enough.
Yeah, well, go ahead then. Tell us what you're doing and how all that. How did actually? What was the light bulb moment for? Maybe I'm jumping ahead here.
No,
So
no.
Let's talk about what is it you're doing. The name of everything.
Okay, so community center. This started 20 plus years ago, actually with
Oh.
our oldest son. In the mindset, I was actually coaching Smyrna Rec League basketball.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it all started. So just, looking at what that landscape was from that age, that was like 2006, 2007 back then. And so as Garrison, our youngest, became of age and started playing basketball, we noticed the landscape had changed tremendously as far as travel ball was concerned. However, we were just traveling locally back and forth to Nashville. I actually took a group of kindergartners and first graders.
Okay.
Three kindergartners, 7 first graders. The name of our team was called 10 Deep, which was Tennessee, TENN Deep.
Okay.
So we were
All
like
right.
Tennessee Deep, but I actually had 10 players on the team.
Oh, there you go.
So we
It worked
called them
out.
10 Deep.
Yeah.
And so it was like, hey, let's take this group of kindergartners and first graders. People were like, hey, how are you going to teach these kids how to play organized basketball at such an early age? And fortunate enough, we had some of the most talented kindergartner and first grade kids, and to take these kids, and we started traveling back and forth to Nashville, playing in the there's a local team there, an organization called NYBA, that we would go back and forth playing against those teams every week. There's a different team there, they're throwing different kids at us, and these kids are just performing at such a high level. And so that's when I told her, I'm like, wow, I think we may be onto something here, you know. And so we started, moving, each year. These kids are getting older, and we're starting to travel more. So we branched out from Nashville to now we're going to Atlanta tournaments. We're going to Louisville tournaments. And these kids are performing at a high level. Yeah. And so we realized, hey, as we're going to some of these venues, we're looking like, wow, imagine something like this in the Middle Tennessee region. And I talked to multiple coaches over the years, because there's we go to these tournaments in Atlanta, there's so many teams from Middle Tennessee that are there. And you're there for a weekend, you're playing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you're trying to make pool play, you're trying to get into a championship bracket. 9 times out of 10, when you get into that championship bracket, it's someone locally here. So we're playing these games in other states. When we could be easily doing this here. And so those are conversations that we would have with some of these coaches, and it was like, man, I wish we had something like this here. And I heard people talk about it over the years, even when the whole Arizona piece came up. But it's just like, okay, no one truly pulled this trigger. And so she and I thought, hey, prior to COVID, of course, let's explore this. And so she and I did.
Yeah, and that was the business side, right?
Okay.
And I think how we became more of a nonprofit, and where the light bulb came on for that was, and it's God, right? God said, here's COVID. We're going to stop for now because you're not where you need to be. You haven't seen the full picture. All we were thinking about was the facility and the economic impact it would have to Murfreesboro. God gave us the opportunity to help some youth to travel. So we had a team, we've had a few teams, and we started to realize there are kids that are super talented that can't afford the training around here, that can't afford to travel with these big teams and be exposed. So we used our resources. We used Southwest points. We used hotel points, and we got these guys on a plane, and some of them flew for the first time with us.
Wow.
And that was the light bulb in my heart. That was the aha moment of, that's what this facility's got to do. It can't just be a brick and mortar. It's got to expand this reach. We did this for a few kids in the past few years. I want to multiply that. I want to do it for so many more kids. Also, our trainers. Garrison sometimes has to go to Winchester to meet up with his trainers. Sometimes he's at Smyrna High School. We want to stop that. We want to have our kids have a oasis that they can go to here in Murfreesboro, a hop and a skip away, get their training, and then be close to home. So
That's awesome.
And that's one of those
where it
components.
developed.
And that was one of the huge components is the trainers not having access, the kids not having access. So we start to think about accessibility. How do we create access? So as we're traveling to these venues, we're going in to play games and hopefully coming home with a championship. However, you're averaging 2 games a day. So within those 2 games a day, you think through, okay, what are we going to do when we're not playing? Well, the kids, of course, they're going to watch other games. Parents are going to go out wherever city we're in. They're going to move about. She and I have already set up meetings with general managers at these facilities. We're trying to understand the operations. We want to understand what makes you guys work, what's going right, what's going wrong, things of that nature. And that's kind of what we started doing. We started taking these notes. And this was 4 years ago. We were doing this, and I'm like, here we are. We arrived at this place, and let's bring this to Murfreesboro.
Yeah.
So we started just reaching out,
There you
making
go.
contacts, connections, and here we are.
Yeah, it's amazing. I've seen, we've talked to, like I said, we've talked to a lot of people over the years and things, even ourselves. When you just have an idea, you just don't give up on it.
Yeah.
And what could come to fruition? I mean, I would imagine a facility like that of that size is probably not very cheap.
Not
right?
No, right.
But and so you guys are doing some fundraising, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and so people listening, watching, there you go.
Yes.
But I mean, I'm not even going to estimate on what something like that would cost, but raising money for something like that, but you just keep going.
Yes.
And obviously you guys have been doing this for a minute. So I mean, pushing. So
Yeah.
and look where you're at now. So,
Yes.
awesome. But do you guys have like a timeline? I'm just curious, like of a time you want to, or you expect? Or,
Yes,
yeah.
we would like to open the doors to the facility in the fall of 26.
Okay.
Right now, we're in our initial fundraising efforts, which was just a $50,000 goal. And the reason for that is we have a $38,000 pro forma that we need to get. The pro forma provides all the numbers as far as economic impact, feasibility report, and your 5-year predictions, right? This is what the city needs to see to take our conversations further about
Okay.
partnering on land. This is also what the larger foundations need to
Yeah.
see to know that there is a success story, we have a plan, and then to get behind us and support us. So we did a social media campaign for 50 days and ended up raising $13,000.
Oh, there you go.
And I mean, I thought that was
It was huge.
Good.
Due to the fact of how we did it, it was like, okay, we launched on July 1st. We went public with this.
Yeah.
And it was a social media push of,
Yeah.
hey, guys, just want to let you guys know, Maryam and I, we shot this video. It's on our website also. But it was just like, hey, let's just get out in front of the people, tell them what we're doing,
Yeah.
and see what kind of awareness we can raise. And so week 1, July 1st, we launched, and it created a lot of buzz, got a lot of conversations were going on. I started getting friend requests from people from Facebook that I'm like, who are these people? I have no
Yeah.
idea. So I immediately, I go to LinkedIn, I'm trying to understand who people truly are, and realize, hey, these are influential people here.
Yeah.
So what we've done, we've raised some eyebrows on trying to bring this facility here. I actually got a couple of phone calls from individuals that I never thought I'd be talking to, inquiring and offering support, want to see something like this truly come here. And so that was truly exciting
Yeah.
for us. I think as we're pushing this, we're starting this fundraising. We're trying to get out in front of people. We're making certain that, hey, what we're hearing, we're listening to the community.
Yeah.
They've asked for this. They want this. And so that was motivation and
Yeah.
driving for us.
Yeah, I mean, when we first started, our very first donation within 3 minutes of our post
There you go.
was a $500 donation.
Oh, wow.
I mean, we were laying in the bed, I remember, and I looked at it, I said, babe, we just got $500. And I didn't know who the person was, and he did. And that was motivating. But since then, we do a $10 Tuesday.
That's what.
Oh, there you
yes.
go. Okay. Yeah.
But since then, people have set themselves up for automatic payments
That's all
every
right.
Tuesday. So that tells me
Yeah.
that the community wants it. They're willing to do whatever they can, little or a lot, to help us get there.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, those $10 Tuesday commitments mean more to me than, I mean, of course, we need the thousands.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
it means to me that we are on the right path.
Oh, yeah. And you have everybody, big, little, whatever the case
Yes.
may be, wanting to support it. Like you said, that $10, that's a genius idea, by the way. Jen, write that down. We're going to steal that idea. But, yeah, and if you don't mind me talking, the financial impact part that we talked a little bit about this off camera. But the what was it? Legacy Sports that was supposed to come out at 8:40, right?
Yes.
Gigantic facility, huge. Now, the overwhelming response to that was everybody's, oh my God, this is amazing. It's going to be great for the economy. But remember that thing. They were, I think it was projecting like over $450 million a year that was going to bring in from tourism, tech, all this other stuff. But that's an outside company coming in doing their thing. Hey, more power to them. Murfreesboro's a great
Yes,
place.
definitely.
But you guys are locals.
Yeah.
And you actually sit down. I've seen you at the coffee shop.
Yes, every
meeting
one of
with-
them.
Yeah,
That's-
meeting with people.
Yes.
And making this happen. It's not
Yes.
a big corporation coming in. Nothing against that in my mind, whatever.
Right,
But
right.
you're here.
Yes.
And you want to make an impact on the community. And like
Yes.
we've talked about Joel Bigelow with
Yeah.
Great guy.
indoor
Great guy.
athletics. And
Thank
so-
you, Joel Bigelow. I love you,
That's
man.
right. Shout out Joel. Or Andy Erzer. We met with him for
Yes.
shop basketball. I mean, you're making a facility for these guys to be able to bring their kids in
Yes.
and make an impact.
Yes.
That's right.
You know, and like, you know, you've talked to them, and, you know, sometimes they have to go to different places or whatever.
Yes.
You have a place.
Yes.
And they're also nonprofits.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
so
Yes.
you're helping the community, help the community, help the community.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
So-
You know?
Yeah,
So-
exactly. Even the overall thought, right? Monday through Thursday, we are serving our youth all the way to our seniors. Whether it's third shift leagues, youth leagues, pickleball, all of those things, right? As well as life skills classes and workforce development. Where on the weekends we have those mega tournaments, whether it's basketball, volleyball, or pickleball, that's going to bring in the economic impact. So if we're doing workforce training here and we're impacting the economy here, what we're essentially doing is getting the full circle where these kids that we train for the workforce have an opportunity here in this workforce.
Yeah.
They don't have to go to Franklin.
Yep.
They don't have to go to Brentwood or Nashville. They can stay right here in Murfreesboro, make money, spend money, raise their families. And that's the overall goal of helping the
Well,
community
yeah,
as a whole.
and you could become that here in Murfreesboro for like you said, Franklin or Brentwood, but that is for Murfreesboro. You could be that for Smyrna, Tullahoma, you know, all these
Yes.
surrounding areas here. Be
Yes.
like, hey, you don't have to drive an extra hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, just come right here. You know.
John, you wouldn't believe the support, thanks to all the surrounding areas.
Yes.
The support we've gotten from Shelbyville locals, Tullahoma, Lynchburg, Fayetteville,
Manchester, Winchester.
yes.
Those areas, they're the outlining.
Yeah.
And that's another. And so when we talk about this, people think, okay, it's in Murfreesboro, Rutherford County. It's so much bigger than Rutherford
Oh, yeah,
County.
yeah.
And it's the Middle Tennessee region.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the focal, that's our reach.
Yeah.
You know, we think Monday through Thursday, locally, if you're from Rutherford County, these are the services that we have Monday through Thursday. And of course, people from those small towns will come up and take advantage of those services during our week. And of course, now you look at the weekends and what the weekend is, the expectation there, you're still looking at surrounding counties. However, you know, the impact may be economically as if, you know, people are staying in hotels in Murfreesboro. They're spending money in the retails here, the malls, you know.
Yep.
She and I are looking at, okay, how do we partner with the local Murfreesboro to make the experience from our visitors, make it so much more grand.
Yeah.
You know, so we're going to partner with Main Event in these places where, you know, you look at like a weekend tournament, you come in on the weekend. You know, if I'm from Iowa, let's just do it in a high level. I'm from Iowa. I know nothing about Murfreesboro. So I'm going to fly. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get online and see how far is Murfreesboro from Iowa.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah, of course.
Can I
Can't
drive or
drive.
can I fly? You know,
yeah.
and no, 9 times out of 10, no, I'm probably going to have to fly.
Yeah.
So now we're starting to look at, okay, where are we flying into? You realize B&A is only 34 minutes from Nashville.
Yeah.
So you fly here, you touch down in Nashville. First thing you got to do, go downstairs, get a rental car, you know, drive that car to Murfreesboro, and you know. But what you didn't factor in was the traffic.
Oh, right, yeah.
Coming from Murfreesboro to Nashville. However, you get in on a Friday night. It's a weekend tournament. You're going to be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. First thing the question is going to be asked is do you want a day pass or do you want the weekend pass? And so I'm still thinking, our mindsets, we're thinking about the consumer.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get the weekend pass. And that pass could be anywhere from $50 to $75, depending on who's hosting that tournament.
Yeah,
Could be a
gotcha.
local tournament that weekend, or it could be maybe a Nike or Adidas tournament. So it could be anywhere from 50 to 75. We go on average of 75. In our mindsets, we're thinking, okay, you spend $75, husband and wife, $150, $5 for a Gatorade. That's all the money you're going to spend inside the 4-Yo Community Center the rest of the weekend. Because what's going to happen is, as soon as you leave there on Friday, you go into a hotel, you're going to have dinner, and then the next morning, say you play at 11 and 1 because you played twice in a day.
Yeah.
Parents going to get up that morning, they're going to go to our local store, Walmart grocery, or Kroger, wherever, get a case of water, go to Sam's, Gatorade, whatever. And so now you have that for the rest of the weekend. So that's why I say you're not going to spend any more money inside the facility. 80% of your spend is going to happen here.
Oh, yeah.
And so now people are starting to think, okay, games are over. What do we do?
Yeah.
You know, kids are going to want to get out and do something. So
Well, what's the first thing they do when the game's over? Hey, where do we eat?
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. They're
Every time.
hungry, and then once
I
you get
remember
them
those
fed,
days, yeah.
they want to go play. And there's
Yeah.
places, there's so many things to do in Murfreesboro. Strike and Spare, LTA,
Yeah, LTA,
Mhm.
main event,
main
you know, all
event.
kinds of stuff,
So, and our greenways. You know, sometimes they may want to just go out and build team building, doing
yeah,
those
team
types
building
of things.
activities,
So,
yeah, totally.
yes.
So there's just so many opportunities. And so with us, we want to partner with our local businesses here. And we want to do this on the front end now, because as we begin to grow this out, this is where they're going to start to see the impact and how it could be for them later on. So
Yeah.
that's what excites us. It's one thing about the kids. It's one thing to be able to, you know, the consumer coming in.
Yes.
But locally, we think about
Yes.
the impact. Now, here's the other interesting thing. People come into town from Iowa. Really, are we this close to downtown Nashville?
Oh, yeah, I
Like,
got
I've
you.
always thought about going to Nashville. Are we that close?
Yeah.
Yes, you're that close. However, traffic is horrendous.
Oh yeah, it never fails. We have family that comes in town, and they're like, "So you want to? Can we go to Nashville? Can we check out Nashville?" I'm like, "Okay, here we go." Yeah.
Right. Yes.
But
Yes.
Nashville can be fun too. Don't get me wrong.
It
but
can,
yeah.
it can be great, but also here locally and back east
Yeah.
can be fun as well. So we think about, okay, if you don't want to go downtown Nashville,
Yeah.
once again, what does Murfreesboro offer? Well, this is what we offer. Okay, outside of Murfreesboro, there is excitement. You know, you have Jack Daniels
Yeah,
down
right,
the
yeah.
road, you know, which we would love to partner to set up a tour
Yeah.
for those visitors coming into town. You have Uncle Nearest down the road. You have the longest bar in the world.
That's right.
You
Oh,
know,
God, that's right. You do. Don't
Yes.
you? I forgot about that.
Yes.
Yes.
Humble Baron.
Yeah, with Humble Baron. And, you know, and it's interesting, she and I, you know, with the 4-Yo Community Center, and I don't talk about this a lot, but, you know, I'm an actual descendant of Uncle Nearest. Yeah, I'm one of the grandsons of Uncle
No
Nearest.
way.
Yeah. And
Okay.
and so just to think about that partnership of being able to say, okay, we can't go to Nashville, let's go here. So it's all about the experience. And when you create this experience for that out-of-towner, they're going to come back.
Yeah.
And it may not be a weekend. The 4-Yo Community Center is having a tournament. It may just be, hey, it's me and the wife. We're going back. You know, we're going to stay in Murfreesboro,
Yeah.
but this time we're going to drive to Nashville. We're going to go to these places. So we're creating that experience, and that's what's really, you know, that's just another avenue for us
Yeah.
to drive. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen the renderings of the facility.
Yes.
If you don't mind, let's do a deep dive into that real quick. So
Okay.
what all is going to be at and in the facility?
all right. So
So here we go. All right.
All right, so we're looking at 8 basketball courts, which convert to 16 volleyball, pickleball courts, of course. There are going to be 3 half-court labs. The labs are like a full half-court, kind of like a racquetball. Yeah, and so then there's going to be, we're going to have a walking track upstairs. There's also going to be speed and agility for turf for training. There's going to be suites like for these mega tournaments on the weekends, you know, so that college coaches will not have to mix with the general public. We're going to have suites upstairs for those for weekends.
That's right.
But during the week, those suites are going to be converted to like classrooms because we're going to have an after school program that will be geared towards sports. An intro to sports. In addition to, we're looking to also incorporate a curriculum, a learning curriculum, if you will. I'm having some conversations with some individuals now. I don't want to speak on it just
Oh, there you go.
until
No,
things.
spill the beans. Right.
But so we have the
The after school care program. We'll have life skill classes coming out of those suites, as well as our workforce development classes. We're going to partner, like you said, with other nonprofits. Jacob 615, Jacob Strong 615 is another one of our favorite nonprofits in town. So they'll come in and they'll help with mental health. So we hope to be able to really address the full realm of the person and have something there for them. We will also have a nutrition area instead of concessions.
Okay.
You won't be getting pizza or the little yellow stuff they put
I love
on the on the nachos and call it cheese. But it'll be healthy. It'll be bowls and wraps and smoothies and things
Very
like
cool.
that to nurture your body.
But on those weekend tournaments, what we want to also do is allow
Food
our
trucks.
food truck community to come in and
Yeah.
potentially set up on
Oh yeah,
those
we're getting quite a
weekends.
vibrant food truck.
Yes.
scene, They're popping up left and right.
Yeah.
I'm convinced we're going to give Nashville a run.
Yeah.
But you ever do the food truck day? in
Yes,
Nashville?
yes, we were there.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm convinced.
And
we're
you've got to
gonna-
go starving because you want to try
Oh my
this
God,
one, and then
you
you
ain't
go
kidding.
3 steps over, and you're like, "But I want to try
Yeah.
this."
Oh yeah, yeah. Be prepared. If you tried the Sweet Addiction truck, they were on our
No,
podcast. Oh
we
my
just
we
God.
saw it. Yes.
Man, their stuff is. If you got a sweet tooth, just.
So what's this old blueberry?
Ah, you did watch. Yes,
Yes,
you did.
we've been
Wow, okay.
watching.
Very cool. Thank you, by the way.
Yes.
No, oh my God. You're going to laugh. We were at the Bacon Festival. We were at the Bacon Festival.
Wow.
And a big thing they do every year at Sportscom, and a huge event. But Sweet Addiction was there as one of the food trucks. And they had a thing on there, something blueberry. Was it like a blueberry cinnamon bun-ish thing? I don't know. They're magicians in the kitchen. But I was like, blueberry. Oh, I'm down. I love blueberry. Try it. It was like the greatest thing ever. It was
Wow.
so good. And they just make up stuff. So they're fans of, like, if you look at it on paper and it sounds gross, we're gonna make it taste good. And you're like, how did
I
you make
love
that?
it.
Yeah. And so they're like, try this, and it's like the greatest thing you ever tried. So yeah, Sweet
We're
Addiction.
gonna have to check them
Okay,
out.
If you ever
Yes.
see them, I'm telling you, and they're a nonprofit too.
Yes.
They help women.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but yeah, really good stuff. So please have them out there.
Yes.
Yes, we
They're
will.
so good.
Yes. Absolutely.
We will.
And like grandma's hands too. Shout out to them, both of them. So, anyways, but sorry.
No, I know.
got
No,
it.
no,
So
not
food
at all.
trucks, you would have them.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to have them as well. And that's just it. Just really partnering with outside vendors for the experience.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Because-
one thing, the one thing we left out is our sports recovery
Oh,
section.
yes.
Oh,
so
very cool.
We
Okay.
will partner with a local stretch or recovery business to have an office there in
Yeah.
the facility. So as kids finish or adults finish or our elders finish working out, if they need a stretch or anything like that, we've got
Yeah.
those services.
Have you
there
talked to
as
the
well.
people? I think it's Stretch Murfreesboro. Is their name?
Yes,
To talk to them?
Garrison used them for
Thank
a
you.
while.
Okay, yeah.
They're pretty amazing.
Are they?
They're right there. It's the one across from Walmart on Fortress, right?
I'm trying to remember. It's been a minute. I see all their stuff on Facebook. And
Yes.
their posts, but yeah, as a former athlete back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
but way back in the day. But it's, yeah, I remember that stretching. God, every time I
Yes.
tore something, I've had 5 tears, and oh God, But so that's very important. Very
Yes,
important. So
it
that's cool.
is.
You're going to have that. So, very cool. So all right. So that we talked about the facility. Do you have a location in mind? Or?
We'd like to be on the west side of Murfreesboro just because there's no indoor facility on this side. We've got Patterson and then we've got Sportscom. The west side needs something indoors
Okay.
as well. And we'd like to partner with the city on that land. We'd take the pressure off of them for
Right.
building a brick and mortar and managing a facility if they can provide us the land. But we're also open to private land donations.
Okay, yep.
If anybody has 20 acres that they'd like to donate and be able to write off,
Yeah.
we're more than happy to look
Yeah.
at that as well.
Speaking of land, I'm just going to throw this out there with the land. There's a roughly 20-acre spot that just opened up on Medical Center Parkway.
Yes.
Right across from the fountains.
Yes, that
That's
would
where
be ideal.
where the
Yeah.
theater was going to be, right?
Yeah, that's where the big
That would
amphitheater
be
was
a
gonna be.
beautiful location.
Yes, it would.
It would.
It'd be a great spot if the city worked with you on that.
Yes. But let's talk about that, right?
Yeah, go for it.
Where it is, right there across from the fountains, that would make it a play and stay. We've been to numerous play and stays. What a play and stay is, if for that weekend the tournament requires you to stay at one of 3 or 4 hotels that they've booked. Also, what that means is once you park your car, you're within walking distance to restaurants.
Oh,
So
totally.
if you think about that, where that location is, they'd be in walking distance to restaurants. There's hotels coming,
Yep,
I hear,
yep.
so
Oh,
there'll
yep.
be walking distance to hotels. We could make those the play and stay, so those hotels would be guaranteed an economic impact.
Yeah.
I mean, Burger Republic wouldn't have had to shut down.
Right?
That would have been great for them.
Yeah.
And
Well-
truly, to our point, when you talk play and stay, truly a play and stay is, if I'm from Iowa,
Yeah.
I drove my rental
Yes.
car into Murfreesboro,
Yeah.
I parked this car. I'm not getting
You don't
back in
get
that
back
car
in, right.
until I
Yep.
go back to the airport.
Yeah.
And so that's what we envision.
Yeah.
That's like that 10-year
Yeah.
vision for me. I did have some conversations with some local councilmen and things of that nature. We kind of talked about what that truly would look like,
Yeah.
and that could potentially be a 20-year plan.
Yeah.
However, as we talk about different locations, I love the Medical Center Parkway location. But then there's that, if you start looking more back out west side, go out 840, you start to think of, okay, placing these types of facilities. What normally happens is when a facility like this comes, it creates a halo effect. So the facility would land here, and then you start building retail hotels up around it. And so you think about West Side now and the growth that's happening there. And if you go out 840, my idea is looking at not congesting the city here in Murfreesboro with all that traffic. Keep it out there. Just let them come in to enjoy our city, to go back out and stay. However, as we're building up with the halo effect and things start to pop up out there, now you'll start to see that, okay, it's a whole new city going on out here. Kind of one example is Hoover, Alabama. So if you go down to that metroplex there, you know, that's kind of an idea. That's kind of the model in a sense. So
the important thing for us, however, is to stay close enough to the city that we can bus in students from elementary school for after school care, also from middle school. We're going to extend our after school care to middle school, just because we know there's a lot of middle schoolers who are latchkey kids who go home and don't have a lot to do. We want to, again, make this an oasis so that they can come there and they don't necessarily have to be like the elementary school kids, just confined to a space, but that they're supervised and they can take advantage of all the different things in the facility.
And in addition to that, being out on the west side, if you think about the location area that I'm stating, now Smyrna, Laverne, they can utilize and access. And so now we're really taking care of all of Rutherford County in that sense, and beyond, because then you'll start to see people from Antioch come. We've already covered this place down, this part down here with like Chevyville and those areas. Now I want to be able to bring, you know, Lebanon. They could come straight down 840. So just we want everyone to have access. So.
Well, that thought on just on that spot on Medical Center. I mean, you're talking about like the fountains right across the street. I mean, they got what? 7, 8 restaurants or whatever it is over there, and then like phase 2 is about to start. In phase 3, they're going to have that big hotel in the back and all that stuff. I mean, you can literally stay there, just walk back and forth. But even if you do get in your car, you're
not
20 seconds down the road from the new Clary Park and the Avenue and all the crazy. There's more coming there, which we'll talk about on another time. That we got heads up about, but. There's a lot going on right there. You know, and all the, you know, and I'll just throw it out there. Heaven forbid somebody has a really bad accident. The hospital's right across the street.
Exactly.
You know? So,
that's what we think about with on those weekend tournaments. People, their injuries happen. Ankles get rolled. Things
I remember that.
And so
breaking legs and stuff.
So I don't have to drive a country mile to get there. We go right across the street. So
just carry them across.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, and something, and you said it just a second ago, but like the after school programs and stuff. I remember when I was a kid, I went to some of those when I was really young, but I looked forward to that. All day, because I mean, yes, we played and had a good time, but I was really into sports. So the second my feet hit that court, it was like, whatever sport we're playing, that's all that matters. You know, it's like, you have homework to do? I don't care. No, I'm kidding. Okay, we had to do homework too. But, but you know, but having that, and the next thing you know, the kids are, you know, the kids are safe. My parents knew I was okay. I was safe. I was in a good place, and there you go.
So another nice attraction for the parent is, so with the after school program, normally what happens is your after school program starts from 2:30 to 6. 6 o'clock normally is when a parent's getting off work, trying to get there quickly to get the kid picked up. Once you pick the kid up, what's next? Well, normally if it's an athlete, here we are across town for training. I have to go there while I drop you off for training. I got to go pick up dinner or run to the grocery, then back, you know. And so now we're eating into family time. So now we're at 7:30, 8 o'clock getting home. However, with our after school program and our offerings, those kids that normally go somewhere else to train, we want to have those trainers on site during our after school hours so that training can go ahead and be taken care of. So when you pick your kid up at 6, there's no training to go to. There's family time at that point. People pay for convenience in that regards. And, you know, it's just, and we want to make that another offering.
You know, just thought, you talk about the have you talked to the guys over at TriFit?
We haven't.
No.
Barry and Adam and their whole team over there. Oh my gosh, those guys are awesome. For one, I've known them for a long time. But they train athletes like one-on-one basis. They have camps and stuff they do. But those guys are really good. They're very well known in the community, very well respected. have to hook you up with them.
Yes.
Yeah,
And they're
for sure.
cool guys.
Yes.
Too. Barry comes in the coffee shop all the time.
Hey, well, I don't know if you know this or not, John. We're cool too.
No, I learned that right off the bat when we met. So you guys have this vibe about you, just like, I like you.
Oh,
Thank you, John. Thank
yeah,
you.
I'm telling you, right when we first met, I was like, oh, goodbye. I even told Jen that. I was like, they're just good people.
Yes.
So again, thank you for what you're doing.
Thank
for
you.
everybody else. So when we're done, Gary, Adam, I know you watch these.
Yes.
We'll
Yeah.
give you their contact.
Okay.
Awesome.
Great deal. Great deal.
But cool. And then, man, I was totally going somewhere with that.
Oh,
I forgot,
I'm
but-
sorry, John.
But on that note, I'm going to jump to this. Actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
You got
let's
some,
do it. Yeah.
So tell me about you got family night
Yes.
going on. What's this?
So the 4EO Family Night is November 21st from 5 to 9 p.m. It is a bowling tournament. So
Oh,
if you're
fun.
interested
Okay.
in competing, we'll have a huge prize. We'll announce what the prize is later. It's a $200 entry fee. You can have 4 to 6 players. And then you would just email us if you're interested in putting a team together at the 4EO Center at gmail.com.
All right. We'll put that up there for you.
Thank
All
you.
right.
And then throughout that night, we will also have a $15 wristband entry fee. That is going to get you all the laser tag you want, all the skating you want, all the bumper cars you want
Screw the bowling.
throughout the night. Let's go skate, John.
Yeah, right. No, yeah, Jen and I've been there. We know what it's like. Yeah, you got laser tag. You got all,
Yes,
yeah,
it's
fun.
an awesome place.
Yeah.
So
It's at Strike and Spare, right?
yes,
Yeah,
Strike
okay.
and Spare.
Yeah.
We'll have a few little kids contests on skating. We didn't do any adult skating contests because
But that's not off the table. It's
That's
not off the table. Hey, if you have
Bring back-
requests, bring the request
Oh,
to
can
us.
we do the 80s disco ball?
Oh,
and bring
that would
back
be
and
so
bring-
much
oh my
fun.
God, that'd be fun.
that would be so much
I
fun.
would make a total fool of myself. That'd be so fun.
Well, it's okay. It's
Hey,
okay.
that's what it's all for charity.
Yes,
Yes,
indeed.
it's all
Good
for
name,
charity.
Yeah.
So through that, we do have some sponsorship opportunities. Our local businesses have been amazing. We've been going door to door and meeting people and talking to them. Our first opportunity is we've got 2 opportunities for highlight sponsors. These are the 10-foot banners that will hang in Strike and Spare during the event. Those are $500. We will return the banner to the business so that they can use it for future
very cool.
use.
Okay.
And just a small token of our appreciation.
Yes.
There's also the opportunity to be a lane sponsor. A lane sponsor will get you a banner over the lane, just the size of the monitors, with your logo, picture, and your
Business
business
information.
name.
Yep.
Again, that banner will be returned to the business for future use.
Okay.
We're also doing a silent auction. So if you have any baskets you want to put together, as long as they're of $100 or more in value, we'll be able to auction those off and make some funds through that as well.
Okay. Very cool.
So I will say we have a Murfreesboro. We're making a few baskets ourselves with things that we're getting throughout the from
Community.
the community. We've got a sweet tooth basket. So
I'm there.
yes.
Just give it to me now. Just give a sweet tooth. You got me.
Anyone that has a business in Murfreesboro that's in sweets, we'd love to have you represented in that basket with a gift card. We've got the Borough Breweries run.
Oh, also cool. Very cool.
If
Yeah.
you've got beer you want us to put in that basket, if you've got gift cards for people to try the different breweries in Murfreesboro, we'd love that. And then we
Harmon,
have like
that's
a
for you
tape.
guys. Sorry. You know Jonathan
Who was
Harmon?
that?
Jonathan Harmon?
Yeah.
Cedar Glade Brewery?
Oh, yes.
Another one.
Oh, it's
Okay.
such a beautiful place.
Yeah. And
Yeah, we drove out there. It's very nice.
Yeah, and they're very, you got several breweries around here, and we
Yes.
personally know Jonathan Harmon.
Okay.
Also very good human being.
Okay.
Awesome.
We like great human beings. That's
And
great.
Jonathan Harmon, he's a good dude. You all like him. So,
Good stuff.
anyways.
Yeah.
I apologize.
No, you're good. And then the other one is like the taste of the borough.
Yep.
So different restaurants can give us gift cards. So
Very
if
cool.
none of the other sponsorship levels work, a gift card to one of these baskets would help us along the way
Very
as well.
cool. Okay.
And in addition to that, when you think about the sponsorship aspect of it, we're thinking about the locals. We're thinking about, okay, you may, what we did, and she and I, we drove, around Murfreesboro over the past couple of months, normally going around during lunch hours and just kind of looking at the number of cars in parking lots.
Yeah.
And, we have a lot of businesses here. And I think during those weeks, a lot of restaurants are struggling during the lunchtime hour.
I got you.
And so I think this is just another opportunity, one, coming on board as a sponsor, it's an opportunity to market your business,
Oh, totally.
one. And we want to make sure we're going to announce our sponsors there so people know who who they are, so that hopefully we can get people to start frequenting.
Oh, and I've been pretending to be John. And
oh my gosh. Okay.
the businesses that have supported us, we've been going and just doing either a live or a quick promo
cool.
to say, hey, for example, Atomic Wings was one of our sponsors for the MTSU parade. We did a spot there yesterday. In Bloom Boutique was our very first lane sponsor, and Michelle got the ball rolling for us there, and we had an amazingly productive day. So thanks to her for getting us kicked off.
Right.
So we'll be doing social media spots for them as well.
Very cool.
Yes.
All right. Well, and we can do shout outs too, if it helps.
Okay.
Yes,
So please
we would love that.
Tell them we'll do it.
Okay, yes.
Well, they're helping
yes.
you guys out.
Yes.
They're helping the community, helping nonprofit. It's just a big winning circle.
It
Yes.
truly
Yeah.
is.
I love that.
Yes.
That's awesome. Okay, and I apologize. When was that again? What day?
November 21st.
21st from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Okay. If people want more information or get in touch with you, how can they do that for this?
Sure. Again, it's our email, the 4EO Center at gmail.com.
Okay.
You can also use the contact us on our website, which is 4EOcenter.com.
Easy enough. All right. Cool.
Yeah. And of course, we're on every social media platform.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
so-
keep up with you. So, awesome. Well, before we wrap up, I really appreciate y'all coming on. Thank you again. I like to ask, let's fast forward 10 years.
Okay.
Where do you see it? Oh, a smile. There you go. Where do you picture it in 10 years?
Oh my gosh, I picture us having made the most amazing impact in Murfreesboro. I picture families that are closer. I picture our elderly population connected with our youth. That's a lot of times missing these days. A flourishing Murfreesboro as a city economically, and us just graduating students to go play collegiate level, even if they're not playing collegiate level, to go to college or to find their niche, to help them to become the entrepreneurs they want to become,
I think-
help them to become just good members of the community.
Yeah.
I think, through our after school program also, that reach with those kids, it's one thing to teach the sports piece.
Yeah.
We're building leaders here,
Yeah.
and that's the other piece that I am so excited about. So I'm working towards that. We're getting this started, but you think 10 years, fast forward 10 years, I look in 3 years with this on the ground and moving in the direction, we're already looking at, okay, where do we pop one of these up next?
I got you.
That we know could be a huge impact, not just to the kids, not just to the seniors and everyone in
overall.
between,
Yeah.
but the overall
Yeah.
community itself.
You know what? I can tell you right now, I know why you're going to be successful. Because not one of those things that you just said
Was about us.
you.
No, because
No,
it's not
this
about
isn't
us.
about us.
Yeah.
It just involves us.
Yeah.
It's not about
You're
us.
the vehicle
Yes.
to help out others.
Yes,
Yes.
and we're going to leave this behind for the city.
Oh, yeah. That's
That's
awesome.
the nature of a nonprofit, right? It's not ours.
Yeah.
It's everybody's.
Yeah, this
So-
is a legacy item.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's cool. See? We saying it right now. Watch it now. So that's I love that. Sorry, I just got
Yes.
goosebumps. thinking
That's
about
you,
okay. I
John.
get
Thank you.
goosebumps every time I think about opening those doors, the day we open those doors, the day that, construction's complete and I'm running through the building like a mad
Right.
woman with nobody in there just screaming
Yeah.
hallelujah.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Great thing about that, I just thought through. So when we launched that $10 Tuesday,
Yeah.
one of the things that we did want to make certain it was understood is anyone that supported, donated,
Oh, yeah.
that we're going to have a beam signing.
Very cool.
Yes,
Okay.
and
Yes.
so we've already captured all the names of everyone that's already supported. So if you haven't supported yet, please do so because you do
Yeah.
not want to miss this.
That's
This is
such
going to
a
be
cool idea.
it's going to be a huge
Yeah.
event. We want to make it a 4-year experience.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what we're
For
doing
each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's
all
gonna be
for
like
each
the
other.
beam that goes across.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what we're envisioning.
That's a great idea.
I envision you walk in and however the beam needs to be where the name is visible. So,
Yeah.
if you got a grandkid, if you donate now, I got a grandkid. Hey, one day I want to
Yeah.
show you. I helped build this.
I love that. The beam idea. Well, it's like the brick.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, but on a beam.
Exactly.
That's
But on
so
a beam,
cool.
Yes.
because it's the structure. It's
Yeah.
You,
Well,
you
you're
guys are what
yeah.
holding this up.
Totally, I got you.
Thank you, John. Thank you, John.
That's so cool. I love that
Yes.
idea.
Yeah.
Heck, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you will be part of that beam. I
Okay,
promise.
yes,
Awesome.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
Well, handle that off camera. We'll do that. But and one more thing I like to ask, just
Okay.
if there's anybody out there watching, listening that has an idea or something they want to move, they're like, I don't know where to start, or like what all's involved. What would you tell them?
As far as if they have an idea that they're sitting
Yeah.
on and just do it. Pray on it. Share your idea. That's where we were
Yes.
stuck.
Yeah.
We were stuck in this mindset of scarcity and being afraid to share our ideas because you've got dream killers out there. You've got people who want to steal any and every idea, whether they know about it or not. So it really just took us stepping outside of that, having faith. If you've got faith, you pray your way through it, you'll take the right steps to get there. So don't sit on it, share it. Somebody out here in the world is waiting on your dream to help them.
And I always like to look at it like this too, John. Like where we are in our lives. I've spent the last 30 years, corporate America, and in the mindset of trying to get rich, if you will.
Yeah.
And what we've learned through this is we've been enriched.
Yes.
To a point that this is why we think the way that we do.
Love that.
And so I tell people, hey, if you have a dream, step out. And to her point, you share. You want to ensure you're sharing with the like-minded people, someone that can move you forward.
Yes.
And so,
Yeah. I mean, that's a huge, I love that you said that, because like Jen and I have talked that before several times, especially here recently with things that we're looking into. And like, people out there, for whatever reason, there's people that love to hate, and I don't understand why.
Yeah.
But you get yourself with people like what we're doing here.
Yes.
And it only lifts you to like exponential level where you're
It
like,
does.
nothing's going to stop me.
Yes.
And so, like, we were talking off camera. Jen and I had a moment, not too long ago where we prayed about it. We're like, let's do this, and you just jump off with both feet in the deep end.
Yeah,
But you just know, like, I'm going to be okay.
that's right. Is that
What is
me?
that? Oh, we got a phone ringing.
Oh, I'm
Hey,
so
it's
sorry.
okay. That's fine. Quiet on the set.
I thought I turned that off.
It's all right. 9 times out of 10, that's me. So
Okay, good.
thank you for helping me there. So, but yeah, so like you said, you just jump off with both feet in the deep
Yeah.
end, but you know that you're going to swim.
That's
You're
right.
Like, I may tread water for a minute.
Yes.
I may be like right there, but I'm going to make it. I'm not going to
Yeah.
drown.
so
And
what-
it's amazing when it's coming from your heart. Your body might be as tired as
Oh, gosh.
just anything.
Yeah.
And I experience this more often than I should probably. But my body's like, girl, we're going to lay in the bed today. And my mind and my heart is like, oh, guess what we could do?
Yep.
We could go, move the needle a little bit further by hitting a few more stores and asking for donorships, or, just, you can't stop.
Yeah.
When it's a passion, there's no stopping.
Yeah, that's right. When it's a passion, it's love, it's belief.
Yeah.
You can't be stopped. So
That's right.
I love it. So awesome. Well, I really appreciate y'all coming on and sharing the vision and story and what you're doing. It's phenomenal. So
Thanks, John.
thanks for having us, John.
Oh yeah, and I like to do it at the end too. One more time, all your contact info, throw it out there so we can put it up for everybody.
Sure. 4eocenter@gmail.com. Website is 4eocenter.com. And the O is the letter O, not a zero.
Yep.
4EO stands for each other. This is a facility
Beat me to it. Okay.
that's going to be for everyone.
Yeah.
And so that's how we truly arrived.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, again, thank you all for coming on. We appreciate it. And if anybody out there watching, listening, you got any questions, you know the drill, put them down below, and we'll get to them as soon as we can. And that's it on this one.
Awesome.
stuff.
See you on
Thanks,
the next one.
John.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.